Let's rock this shit.
I think we should.
Should we rock this shit?
I've been thinking about it lately, and I do think we should rock this shit. Hey, my little loca chica.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing fantastic given the terms.
What are the terms?
That it's cloudy out.
Yeah.
Is it given the consequences? Is that what I'm trying to say?
No, you're trying to say given the circumstances.
Given the circumstance. God, I love being an immigrant. Okay. How are you?
Given the consequences.
And the terms.
Oh, given
what
the
do you
terms.
mean?
I was going to rock with terms. I know what you meant. I am actually in a good mood. Yeah.
We should add an audience clap here.
Woo!
Hoo, hoo, hoo. I'm in a great mood. And I have a sneaky suspicion this episode's going to be extremely good.
I agree. I'm excited about it. Should we just jump into our ins and outs?
Yeah, you want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I'm really ready with mine.
All right, let's rock it and roll it.
Okay.
Wait, are they going to hate that we're like sipping smoothies on here?
No. Why would they?
You're right. They love us.
They just want us to be happy.
You're right.
My in is having a crush.
Real. Tell me more.
Yeah. I feel like my most sexy, my most like excited about life, my most like giddy when I have a little crush. And listen, a crush, I think it's important to say this because I am getting married. Kellen knows this. A crush is different than liking someone.
Yes.
Liking someone is a problem. It's problematic if you're in a relationship. A crush exists at a point of distance. A crush isn't even based on the person that they are. It's based on the person, frankly, that I'm projecting onto them.
Yeah, it's the idea of them.
It's the idea of them.
A crush brings the color back into my cheeks.
Yep.
Puts a little pep in my step.
Yep. As much as I love my partner, there is nothing better than the feeling of like getting ready for a night out, knowing a crush is going to be there. Or someone that you think is cute and you like want to look sexy. You know what I mean? You're not even like trying to seduce them. It's just nice having a little crush. I just think crush is I hold on, I have to burp. I just think crush is should I keep that in?
Going back into it is crazy.
I just think crushes are the spice of life, and I think they keep you young, and I think they keep you sexy.
I completely agree. I think that crushes are fun. We've had crushes since the dawn of time. Like, I'm sure the dinosaurs had crushes, cavemen had crushes. Like, why wouldn't I, you know?
It's so true. It's so true. And listen, every relationship is different.
Completely.
So, but like in mine, I'm allowed to have a crush, and so is he.
Yeah. I actually think it's healthy to talk about like who you think is attractive with your partner if you're comfortable with that, because it allows you guys to communicate in a way that maybe you wouldn't necessarily be comfortable with if you were more insecure or if you like didn't have that deeper connection in some way. I know that some couples don't really like that kind of communication, but right. I think it's important. I think it's fun when Ryan points out a girl and he's like, oh, that girl's cute. I'm like, hell yeah, that girl's cute.
Yep, exactly.
And that guy is cute too.
I agree. I just think it's fun. I just think it's like fun and silly.
It's silly.
And it feels freeing. Like I feel like I know couples where it's like, I don't think that guys should be like overtly like checking out girls, but like, they can't even admit that like a celebrity that they're never going to see, let alone have a chance with, is cute. And I'm like, that just feels constricting, and that honestly feels like a recipe for disaster.
That feels controlling.
I don't like it.
I don't believe that you're only attracted to the person you're with. I'm so sorry.
No. There's a happy medium between like being controlling and being like fully open, and I think it kind of lies. I think you and Ryan are a really good example. Like,
thank you.
You're a really good example of like, you guys aren't like in an open relationship by any means, but you are also like very, very
fluid,
secure, non-possessive, just very much like, you know, you can joke about crushes and stuff and it feels very actual jokey and not like, sometimes I see couples like that, but you can tell the girl's really uncomfortable with it, but she's doing it like to seem cool.
Yeah.
You guys just, you've really nailed that medium.
Thanks. I feel like we have two. I feel like crushes feel very summery too, huh?
Yeah, I think that's what it is too. It's like it's getting hot out. We're starting to have pool parties.
The
like
tans.
I'm getting my little bikini. I'm doing my Alexis Run 10-minute ab workout every day. I'm ready for summer.
I love this.
Yeah. So my in is crushes.
What's your out?
My out is not asking people out in real life. Nobody asks people out in real life anymore.
Like, you mean through text, like they do it through text.
Even that, I feel like people are like just kind of like either on dating apps or they're like asking people out via like Instagram DMs. They're like sliding. But I don't feel like people are like seeing a girl at a bar thinking she's cute and like going over and like, you know, rizzing her up anymore. Nobody's doing that. I went out the other week to this really, really, really cursed bar in LA called Tenants of the Trees.
Ugh.
And it's like I was observing, I could see so many people, so many horny singles, beautiful, so many people kind of like checking each other out from across the room. No one is hitting on anyone. I was also with a huge group of very beautiful people who, frankly, you wouldn't know who was taken and who was single. No one's coming up to anyone.
I think that has to do with brain rot and insecurity.
I hate it, though. Like, I miss the days of going out and kind of like, you pretty much know if you're like a cute girl that you're gonna get like hit on at least once.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It really does bring you down when you get all hot and like, especially when you're single and nobody fucking even looks at you.
No. Or they look at you, but you like know they're like not coming up to you. It's like, grow up and come over and tell me I'm pretty.
Yeah.
Even if I'm gonna tell you that I'm married or whatever. It's like, just grow up.
That is something that I love about the 1950s. I mean, there's not a lot of things I love about the 1950s, but they were coming up.
They were going up. They were rizzing you.
They were like, "Scott-da-da-do, would you like to go out with me?" And you know what? That's how men should be in the year 2024.
I kind of agree. It's just weird to me, and I feel like I have so many like single guy friends, and it's like I can't even imagine them like going up to like a stranger at a bar that they think is cute.
You're so right. I think about like our guy best friends,
yes,
and I'm like, I have a guy best friend, and he has like pointed out girls that he thinks are hot when we're like out together.
Yes, same.
And I'm like, why aren't you going up there to talk to her?
At the very least, tell her she's pretty. Like, guys don't even go up to compliment you anymore.
Bring back compliments.
Maybe we're just ugly.
No, that can't be it.
You're right. That's not it.
Bring back compliments.
I just want guys like and I do understand. I think there's like a lot of discourse the past few years over like places where it is like appropriate versus inappropriate to do that. So maybe people are just like not.
I think people are scared. I think that there's a fine line between like being aggressive when you're hitting on a girl and not hitting on a girl, and I think men haven't cracked the code of what's the middle.
I agree, but let me tell you something. Out at a crowded bar on a Saturday night, it's like you can go up and at least call someone beautiful.
Yeah, and also, men, you don't have to expect something in return when you are complimenting a woman.
Oh, there's nothing hotter to me than a guy coming up to you, complimenting you, and then walking away.
'Cause you're like,
oh, he wasn't expecting something out of that.
And then I'm like,
and then I'm chasing after him.
You're like, wait.
You don't want to buy me a drink?
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's like,
I'm like, I'll buy you a drink.
Yeah, exactly. It works.
Yeah, that does suck. Especially, I'm somebody who's like so forward. Like, I'm so intense.
Yes.
So if I was single and I was out, I would fucking hate if a guy didn't come up to me because then I'd have to be the aggressor.
I agree. And it's like, I just miss being rizzed up.
Bring back Riz, man.
Bring back guys having Riz in real life, not just on Instagram.
Yeah, you fucking perverts. Sorry.
Perverts.
Okay, my in.
What's your in?
My in, I saw this TikTok and it has to do with this. My in is people who ask deep questions. And listen to me.
Your in is yourself?
Yes. And I'm not just talking about myself. I'm talking about, I saw this TikTok and it's this girl who's like poking fun at a girl who like asks a lot of questions. Like, when was the last time you cried? Like, what's your ex's version of your breakup type shit? And I'm like, that is the zest of life. That's the person you want at every dinner table, at every party, because they're just curious and they want to know everything, whether it's for their own gain or their chismosas.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a rat's ass.
Nobody doesn't like that person. Like, you know how there are some personalities that are like love it or hate it? Nobody doesn't like the person who's like asking fun, interesting questions.
I will say though, I've had, as somebody who's like that, I've had people be like, whoa, you're just getting right into it. Yes.
I think they're just not used to it because you know what? Everybody loves talking about themselves.
Yeah, that is something I've learned.
Everybody loves like answering a question about themselves or like their interests or what they would do in a situation.
Yeah, that's true. So that's my in. My in's myself, man.
I love it. I've been doing it more lately. I've been like asking more fun questions.
Isn't it fun?
One, it's fun. Two, I feel closer than ever to the people I've been asking. And three, I can tell that people find me more endearing.
Yes.
The more that I do it.
Yes. That's the Gabby code, straight up.
Yes.
If I'm ever like, I don't really know too many people in the group, I'm just asking a crazy kooky question.
Yep.
It breaks the ice.
I love it.
I don't care about how you are or what you did this week. I want to know like your lore.
What's your out?
My out is TikTok shop. Get rid of it. Listen to me. I understand that TikTok is after their own bag, but like if I have to see another fucking Alex Earl ring light, a ramen, anything,
That net.
yes, and that soap that gets rid of hyperpigmentation. Shut up.
Just shut up.
Everybody, shut up. Let's keep making silly videos. Let's stop being sellers.
I agree. I'm even fine with like brand deals. Especially
Yes.
when they're like smartly done. I love a good smartly done brand deal. I'm falling for it. I'm using your code. But something about TikTok shop really irks me too. It's like I used to have to scroll TikTok and know that I just have to scroll past actual like sponsored ads. And now I also have to check for the freaking TikTok shop thing.
Yeah, and TikTok shop, like when I see a video with TikTok shop at the bottom, it just like waters it down. It like
I agree.
looks ugly.
And I feel like everybody's sort of like response to that now is being like, listen, I hated TikTok shop too, but I have to tell you about this sponge. Don't patronize me. Don't feed me shit and call it caviar.
Yes. Wow. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm going to start using that.
You should. Because that's how I feel when somebody's like, listen, I hated TikTok shop too, but I have to tell you about this product. You could have told me about the product and not linked TikTok shop.
And you know what else I hate? I hate when influencers like are so with their ads and they're like, I just can't believe how creamy this is. Oh my God, this is like actually amazing. You guys, this is amazing. It smells so good. It's like, shut the fuck up. Sell me something and sell me something right.
Yeah, I think it's hard, especially with you as being a creative director. It's like,
yes,
you appreciate a smart ad.
I love a creative ad that has me linger for a couple more seconds.
Yes, I agree.
Influencers are getting lazy. Maybe it's time I step in.
I actually agree with that. Also, it's funny that you're in is asking questions because I literally have in my notes for the episode today that the first thing I wanted to say after ins and outs was I was going to pull a Gabby and ask a question to kick off the episode.
Nobody, wait, this makes me so happy because as a question asker, nobody really asks me questions back. They're always like, what about you? Okay, go.
I have a good one. It's a fun one. It might take you a second to think about it, so we'll have to cut some space out, but that's fine because I want you to really think about your answer.
Okay.
Name a song that best describes your last 2 relationships before Ryan, or situationships.
Oh, shit.
Take a minute. We have all the time in the world.
Okay. If I'm thinking about it, I'm thinking about...
You could say the names too. We'll just bleep them. Or you can give them nicknames.
I'm thinking about Arthur.
Yeah, I know exactly who Arthur is.
And I'm thinking about Daenerys Targaryen.
I literally know exactly who you're talking about. We've never even actually used those nicknames for these men, and I know exactly who you're referencing.
Okay, if I'm thinking about Arthur... No. If I'm thinking about Targaryen,
yeah.
It's going to be, why you so obsessed with me?
Yeah, that's a really good one.
But then I became obsessed with him.
As it goes.
As it goes, man. And then for Arthur, I'm going to go with... I keep bleeding, I keep bleeding, love.
Oh, okay. Some Leona Lewis?
Yeah, just because, like, damn, that man had me in a fucking chokehold, dude.
He really did.
Wait, what's your answer?
Mine...
Give him a nickname. See if I can tell who it is.
Narnia.
Yeah. Yep.
I feel like if I had to give him a song, I would say... Glimpse of Us by Joji, except it's him singing it about his ex. He's literally laying down with me and he's thinking of his ex.
So that would hurt in a way that I didn't think it would.
Yeah. When I first heard Glimpse of Us, we were dating and I remember thinking he's thinking about his ex. And then I was like, anyways, what do you want to do this weekend?
Oh my God. Wait, how could you tell?
It was literally so obvious.
Fuck, man.
It was one of those situations where we'd like be at a party and I'd see him, he'd be like this.
That would have crushed
Looking
me.
over at her like this.
You're literally so brave.
I wasn't brave. I was desperate. But thank you for saying that.
I can't relate to desperation. No, you weren't desperate. You were young.
I was a little desperate. It's fine.
Pick a number between 1 and 15.
Say it out loud.
Yeah.
8.
8. Oh, what's the first song you'd show an alien?
I'm blue, da ba dee da ba da, and da ba dee da ba da, da ba dee da. And then the alien would go, that's really offensive.
They're like, my culture is not your entertainment. You fucking bitch.
He calls me a fucking bitch.
You're like, how'd you learn that?
Do you believe in aliens?
Fuck yeah.
Like, actually.
Yes. It's bonkers to me that the government put out pictures of aliens and people were like, yeah, we knew. What are you talking about?
They really put out pictures of aliens?
See?
I didn't know that. But I also feel like the government always puts out something about aliens around the time that, like, they're trying to distract us from something else.
I have yeah, I agree with you. I have this toxic trait where I think that, like, if there was an alien invasion on Earth, like, I could change one. I could be the one to be like, come on, we're just the human race.
We're just the human race.
Like, we're connected. Like, I would think that I could, like, relate to them on a level that most people couldn't.
I'm, like, immediately killing myself.
Oh.
If there's an alien invasion.
Immediately?
Yeah.
You're telling me if the spaceship is coming down, you're immediately killing yourself.
Well, is the spaceship coming down, or is the spaceship coming down in one of those movies where it, like New York City is wiped out?
See, that's the problem.
If they're coming down in, like, an aggressive way, I'm offing myself literally immediately.
Like, if they're like, boom,
but they haven't, like, actually tried to hurt anyone yet.
Yeah.
I'm chilling for a second. I'm
Okay.
seeing what's up.
Yeah.
But if they come down and they're immediately, like, meow, and they're, like, you know, blowing up, like, you know...
They're, like, shooting lasers out of their...
Exactly. Immediately offing myself. I just, like, don't want that smoke.
I think I would stay for, like, the chisme. Like, if I die, like, you know, so be it.
I just, like, don't... I, like, want to live in a world where I can still get an Erewhon smoothie. I don't want to live in a world where I have to, like go out scourging, or what's the word?
You know what?
I don't want to have to
foraging.
I don't want to live in a world where I have to go out, like, foraging for food, and I have to, like, be watching my back all the time. Like, I always think about that when I watch movies like A Quiet Place.
Yeah.
Why do you even want to live like that?
I agree. Like, I have an earthquake bag where if the big one hits in California, like, I'm ready. But at the end of the day, like, I'm not ready. And, like, I'm literally killing myself.
Yeah, I just hope I get sucked into it. Like, I just, like, I don't want to live in that, like, that kind of world. I was meant to live in 2024. I was meant to scroll TikTok. I was, like, meant to see my therapist once a week. I was meant to have an Erewhon smoothie. Like,
yeah.
I love, like, popcorn, and,
yeah.
like, I love going to the movies. Like, I just don't love the gift of life enough that I'm, like, fighting for it that hard.
Yeah, especially if, like, other people have died that you love. Like, what is it all for?
Right, exactly.
To say that you, like, did it? Okay.
Right.
I don't care.
I just don't think I have that. I think some people have an instinct to survive by any means necessary. I don't.
I agree with you, but also about me.
Yeah.
But
we can kill ourselves together.
I was about to say, there has to be a plan where, like, I can't do it by myself.
We'll do it together.
We'll do it with Ryan and Kellen.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. It has nothing to do with this.
Okay.
What celebrity out of these celebrities would you trust to have enough snacks in their house for you?
Good snacks?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Janelle from Teen Mom, Kanye West, Bradley Cooper, the host from Survivor, and JoJo Siwa.
Janelle from Teen Mom.
Because she has a kid?
Well, she has a kid and she's kind of trashy, so I feel like she's still, like, she's not one of those moms that's, like, not giving her kids, like, Cheez-Its because of, like, the dye.
Yeah, you're right. She does not give a fuck about Red 40.
Exactly. She's got Gushers.
She's got Gushers.
She's got Gushers. She's got Cheez-Its. She's got the good stuff, in my opinion.
She's got the fruit roll-up that you can tattoo your tongue.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Versus the rest of them, I think, are a little too Hollywood.
You're right. Like, I would like to think that Kanye West's assistant has, like, the snacks, but I don't know. I don't know if Northy's eating that.
I can't imagine Kanye West eating a fruit roll-up.
You're so right.
JoJo Siwa would be my second.
Not the host from Survivor? What's his name?
No, because I feel Jeff Probst, Daddy Probst.
Okay.
I feel like he's, like, all about health.
But maybe he's a secret.
I feel like he has, like, jerky.
I feel like he, like, has a banana with peanut butter.
Exactly.
I have a bone to pick with you. Actually,
What?
now that we're thinking about it. You didn't tell me that I speak out of one side of my mouth.
I don't see it.
And I recently saw it.
Are you doing it right now?
I couldn't tell you. I recently saw it on the podcast, and I speak like Drew Barrymore. Like, I like talk like this.
No, you don't.
I sure do. And I saw it.
I'm looking at you right now. You're not doing it.
Because now I'm focused on it. You know when you like focus on like how you're breathing or how you're walking?
Yeah, I hate when somebody points something out and they don't even mean it in a mean way, but like then you can't stop thinking about it. Like apparently because I have really bad allergies, I'm always like clearing my throat on the phone. Like I go, and I did it the other day and Kevin was like, I love when you do that little gremlin noise.
I would die.
And now every single time I clear my throat, he like giggles a little under his breath. And it's like I'm so hyper aware of clearing my throat on the phone now, and I'm like,
listen, it's not your fault.
I'm like, do I sound like a little gremlin on the phone?
Your allergies are just rattling you.
I can't help it, especially if I've been talking a lot. It's like I get like buildup.
Well, I'm Drew Barrymore, and you're a gremlin.
Well, that's not the worst.
But
In fact, I actually think that's pretty like
that's a good duo.
In tune with our personalities. Actually. Like, I don't think that's, like, so far off.
You know what? You're kind of right. Okay, you're right. You're right.
I just had something else to say. I can't remember what it was. I have a bone to pick with no one in particular.
Aw.
But with a specific type of person.
Okay.
So, I've noticed something recently. I don't know why, but very recently I've had multiple people, maybe it's just we're getting older, we're tired of, like, bullshit. But I've had multiple people lately decide they're going to, like, go through and, like, unfollow spree, right?
Okay.
I don't know if it's because we're all, like, turning 30, but
Wait, I do that. Is your bone with me?
No.
Okay.
No. You'll see what I mean. Like, I have multiple people who's, like, you know, their partners are unfollowing people.
Got it, yes.
Kellen went through a phase when we got really serious where he, like, had realized that he had just been, like, following tons of, like, kind of, like, groupies and stuff for, like, you know, the 15 years he's been touring. A lot of lot lizards. But even in general, like, sometimes people will just, like, be like, oh, I followed them years ago. We don't even talk. We don't know each other. Yes. Whatever. It is extremely odd behavior to me if somebody notices within 24 hours that they've been unfollowed. How are you that online? Like, how do you even notice that?
I recently asked Ryan this because he had this, I'm not going to air her out. Actually, I might air her out. It was this girl who would go to Ryan's shows, but, like, she wasn't a lot lizard. She just was, like, a lot lizard wannabe.
Friend of the band?
Friend of the band, but not cute.
Can you tell we're both dating musicians?
And she always just expected, like, a backstage pass or like free tickets or something. And I recently unfollowed her because I was like, what am I doing? Following her. Within 30 minutes, this bitch unfollows me back.
That's crazy behavior.
30 minutes.
That's like, how do you even see that? Do they have like some app?
I feel like it's an app, but also I was talking to Ryan. He was like, well, people who have like 3 followers notice if they go from 3 to 2.
But nobody has that little followers. Everybody nowadays, I feel like has
Imagine meeting someone with 3 followers.
That's a huge red flag. Everybody I know has at least like 300 or 400 just because that's how many you gain over the course of years of following people. I cannot even. And then even if I did, let's say I know for a fact I have like 330 followers and I see 329. How are you still even getting to the point where you find out who it is? Are you going through it's so chronically online, and honestly, I'm sorry, it's fucking freak.
It's weird.
It's freak behavior to notice that somebody unfollows you and immediately unfollow them. Like if you notice it like a couple months later, maybe for some reason they pop up, you go to their page, you see the follow back, you know what I mean? Whatever.
Saying something's freak behavior.
I'm sorry, it's fucking freak behavior.
So mean.
You're a fucking freak. If you notice that anybody unfollows you within...
Why is being called a freak like the worst of the worst?
It's my new thing. You're a fucking freak of nature. That's my new thing I've been saying.
It's the emphasis on fucking freak.
If you notice that somebody unfollows you within...
You're a fucking freak.
Within like a week or less, you're a fucking freak.
I completely agree.
And you know what makes you an even worse freak?
What?
Asking them.
Ew! Like DMing them, being like, why'd you unfollow me?
Do you have any idea how many people DM'd Kellen after and was like, hey, like, noticed you unfollowed me. Did I do something wrong?
Okay, but I will say the only time that's okay is if it was like a friend, like, that's close.
Yeah, but when is that ever even happening? That's so rare.
You're right. It is weird. It is fucking weird.
It's weird ass behavior. It's usually lot lizards. Like maybe we're just jaded by like this lifestyle we've chosen.
Yeah.
It's always people who are like stoked to get the follow from somebody with like a blue check.
Yes.
And they hate that they've like lost like currency because a lot of times I feel like lot lizards, for those of you that don't know, lot lizards are like kind of like
they hang out. So backstage,
they're groupies.
Backstage, there's like a parking lot, and the tour buses park there, and if you're a lot lizard, you're not really getting into the buses. You're just kind of waiting to see which bus is going to open their doors for you.
Yes. And listen, that's fine if that's your,
if that's your path, go for it.
But it's like they oftentimes, I notice, like, collect band guys like Pokemon on Instagram. Like, they're stoked to have that many band guys following them. So it's like when one of them unfollows, it's like they lose 10% power. They're like, oh.
Yeah.
They like notice it. They're like out at a bar and all of a sudden they're like,
they're checking. Yes, that's the
like,
problem.
what happened? You're like, I can feel it. I lost a blue check follow.
That's the problem. They can clock or okay, here's what I think actually happens. Let's say somebody with a blue check unfollows them. They're checking every single person with the blue check that would follow them and seeing if it was one of them.
They're checking the people that they're insecure about because they know they're not actual friends.
Yeah.
And they've probably been like a little bit waiting for this moment to happen.
Wow, that's probably what happened with me and that girl.
Also, I'm sorry, even if I notice an unfollow, I'm not like immediately unfollowing. That's like a worse look.
Ew,
That, like,
that's so thirsty.
It admits that you not only saw it immediately, but that you like cared enough to immediately be like, well, fine, you too.
It admits that you're a fucking freak.
Yeah, you're a fucking freak. Sorry.
What's that thing I used to say when I would see our enemy at a party? What was it? It was like...
You were like, if they ever come up to you and try to like start something, that you were gonna like back up and act really scared and be like, you're scaring me.
You're seriously scaring me,
Imagine a girl
freak.
like thinks she's like hot shit, thinks she's about to like call somebody out and be like, I think you're a bitch, and the girl goes, you're fucking freaking me out, and like everybody like is like, oh my god,
you're making all of us uncomfortable.
That's the best thing you can do to somebody.
Bringing
who's like,
someone in, bringing like a group in, you're making all of us uncomfortable.
you're making
Speaking
us
for the group.
Oh my, that's the best thing you can do in that situation.
Speaking for a group is powerful.
That's really funny. That's actually so funny.
Wait, agree or disagree? Ready?
Yeah.
Women can be friends with single men, but men can't be friends with single women.
Agreed.
Right?
Yep.
Like what happens in a man's brain that like you can't just platonically love a woman, you have to fuck her.
I don't know what it is. I think it's that women have higher standards.
Yeah, there's too many beautiful women in this world and not enough beautiful men.
It doesn't even matter if a woman's beautiful. A man will fuck like a microwaved cantaloupe.
Ew!
That's why I have like no need for male validation. Do I like validation?
Yeah.
Yes. Do I love validation from the internet, from other women? Absolutely. But male validation? Absolutely not. Male validation is fickle. Like I said, a man can literally look at a fruit sideways and be like,
yeah, you're
so it's
so
like
right.
I can't care. I can't care.
Ew, it's crazy I'm attracted to men. Like, isn't that a little embarrassing sometimes?
It's kind of embarrassing.
Like, you're telling me that a man that I love would fuck a microwaved cantaloupe?
If it came down to it, yes.
But I love men?
Yeah.
That's insane.
That's the curse of heterosexuality.
Wait, how was your birthday?
It was fine. Kellen is on tour right now. Mm-hmm. And so he had an LA show.
Yeah.
So I kind of spent it in the green room, which was fine. Mm-hmm. All I wanted was a green room cake. Tyler, the Creator's security guard, came in and said Tyler wants snacks, and then took a slice of the cake.
Imagine being a security guard and you're like, all right, I really want to be a security guard. Like, I'm 45 years old.
I love safety.
Protection is my passion.
Mm-hmm.
Tyler, the Creator, comes up to you and is like, snacks! And you're like, all right, man, I'll fucking go find you some.
And then take some birthday cake from some random girl.
That's an assistant's job.
Absolutely.
Not a security guard.
So we had a great day. We went to the Paloma Wool pop-up. We got a little lunch. We got a little breakfast. It was lovely. Got ready. Went to the show. It was fun. Yeah.
Do you care about birthdays?
No, not at all. I think about them a lot. Like, I think about like what I want to do that year, like who I want to be. Sometimes I get a little insecure now that I'm like, in my 30s, but I don't want to like do anything for my birthday usually.
Are you like, what category do you fall into? Like, A, crying on your birthday. B, don't care but still want people to care. C, really cares and like not for yourself but for other people, like you just want to enjoy the celebration. Or D, none of the above.
D, none of the above.
Oh, okay.
Just completely apathetic.
Okay.
Just like
you're just like another day.
Just no situation, no up or down.
Yeah.
Kind of just like another day. Obviously, I'd be bummed if I didn't get like a happy birthday from like you and Kellen.
Yes.
But like overall, I'm kind of just like very medium.
Wow, I'm so the opposite.
Yeah, you love your birthday, and I love that.
I love my birthday because I just love connection.
Yeah.
But I also love other people's birthdays.
Yeah, I think you just like, you like people to be happy. You like people to celebrate.
Yeah.
You like get-togethers.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. That checks for you.
Don't you think that the bread industry hates single people? Think about like, okay, so Ryan's on tour right now.
Okay.
I wanted to make myself a burger.
Okay.
I go to the store. There's hamburger buns by the 6s, by the 8s. I'm one woman.
You want them to sell single hamburger buns?
No, I want them to sell 2.
That's crazy.
2? 2 isn't nuts.
2 is nuts.
2 is perfect. A loaf of bread should be smaller.
You just made from scratch one burger for yourself?
Yeah. Is that weird?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know. That's kind of weird.
I love eating, and I love eating good.
Just go get a burger.
No, it means so much more when it's made with love.
Oh, love for yourself?
Yes!
You're crazy. You're crazy for making a burger alone in your apartment for yourself.
Comment if I'm crazy.
You're fucking crazy for that.
Hey, leave a comment below if I'm crazy. No, listen. Loaves of bread should be shorter.
I agree with that. A loaf of bread.
It's so moldy so fast.
A loaf of bread is crazy. Like how much bread lasts you a week? Let's say you have one sandwich a day.
Dude.
That's 14 pieces.
Yeah,
that's like what, like half a loaf?
Exactly. It's
I agree with that.
Like,
but
get
hamburger
shorter.
buns, it's like that's for a barbecue. Come on.
Okay, 4. I'd settle for 4.
Fine. Maybe I'll give you 4. Even that feels crazy, but it's fine.
6 is nuts. 6 is 5 too many.
6 is just as crazy as you making one burger alone for yourself in your apartment. I'm sorry.
First off, don't burger
like,
shame
I'm
me.
imagining you like putting it together, putting the pickles on, like just one single on a plate, bringing it over to your couch, and it's insane.
Hopping on Real Housewives. Listen, if we're in SpongeBob, I'm Mr. Krabs, and I'm making Krabby Patties. That's just the truth.
Mr. Krabs doesn't make the Krabby Patties. SpongeBob makes the Krabby Patties.
Well, okay, then I'm him.
You're SpongeBob.
I'm SpongeBob. I kind of am SpongeBob, huh?
I'm Squidward.
Speaking of shows, I started watching Sex and the City. I'm finally here.
I got so excited when you told me that you were watching Sex and the City that I started watching Sex and the City for like the probably 5th time in my life.
It's so good. But
And
you were
it's so-
saying...
What?
You were saying that, like, when you were younger watching it, you, like, idolized these characters. Now that I'm 29 and I'm watching it, I'm like, are you guys fucking kidding me?
Absolutely. If you still idolize Carrie and you're over 26, you're probably mentally ill.
You need a therapist.
You really should. You've never seen a therapist.
Who's your favorite character on Sex and the City?
I don't know. Probably Samantha.
Yeah.
I would say Samantha, like, has her shit together the most. She's not without her issues. Crazy avoidant attachment style. But I do think that she is, like, she's the most real. Like, Carrie is fucking insufferable. Carrie's, like, borderline a bad person certain episodes.
Yeah.
Like,
Carrie doesn't really give a shit about her friends.
Miranda's, like, self-loathing and just, like, such a stick in the mud.
Bro, I would deck Miranda. She's so annoying. She's so annoying.
She's pretty annoying. And then I honestly used to not like Charlotte, and I like Charlotte more. The older I get, the more I appreciate Charlotte.
Yeah. I think I'm Charlotte.
I do think that she's such an idealizer, and that's her big downfall.
Yeah.
They all have their goods and their bads. I think that's why everybody can kind of see a little bit of themselves in all of them.
I was about to say, I actually retract what I said. I don't think I'm just Charlotte. I think I'm kind of all of them.
Everybody's all of them. I think that's the point. I saw this really interesting theory about how Charlotte, Miranda, and Samantha are all just figments of Carrie's imagination.
Is she schizophrenic?
And she's schizophrenic. I don't know if she's schizophrenic, but she's kind of just like made them up in her head, and they're all just like different aspects of like a woman.
Wow.
And how we kind of go through all these phases with all of them, which I thought was really interesting.
I love when people have like interesting thoughts about like that about a show.
Where are you at in the show?
I'm on season 3, episode 2. So I think that Big just got engaged to what's her face?
Natasha.
Yeah. I think that Carrie was kind of mean about her, but I get it.
It's hard because I feel like we all go through a phase where we're like mean about our ex's new partner.
Yeah.
And you do need the space to be evil and let the evil out.
You do need to let the evil out.
Should you be like online bullying them or like being mean in real life? No. But should you be allowed to make fun of them with your friends? Yes.
But you shouldn't be calling them.
No, that's a little.
She's a fucking freak for that.
No, Carrie has some serious freak behavior for sure. So I'm also rewatching, and I just watched the episode, which I'm not sure if you've seen yet, but it's the episode where they just had their like reception party and Carrie goes to talk to him. and she's like, some women can't be tamed.
Yes.
Okay. That's like the most iconic episode,
Yes.
right? The Your Girl is Lovely Hubble.
Yes.
When I was young and like insecure and never thought that like I was the problem in any relationship that ended, I like loved that scene. Like I was like, oh my God, that's me. Like I'm the one that
Why
can't
do I
be
remember
tamed.
that?
What?
Why do I remember that?
What do you mean? Remember what?
I remember you telling me about the specific scene
It's possible.
when we were like 22.
I think every young woman who watches Sex and the City for the first time like can see themselves. Well, here's my point. I think when you're young and somebody doesn't like you back, you'll like make any excuse in the book. It's like when a guy just doesn't like you, but you'll say that he's just like busy with work or that he's like too scared of his big feelings for you, which is like literally never the case. And I think what gives me the ick about rewatching that scene now as someone who's 31 is Carrie, you're supposed to be like 35 in this scene. And you like also like don't really like have your shit together and you're pretty messy and you also like have no idea how to communicate in like a healthy way and you're constantly picking fights. And I'm not saying that Big is like a good guy, but like Carrie is not without her problems. But I think that women love this scene because it's like them validating like that they're never the problem and that like the only reason a relationship could have possibly ended is because like they're just like wild and free and gorgeous.
Yeah, she's too wild.
And it also is it's so not girl's girl to basically be like, oh, well, he's only with the other girl because she's simple.
Like almost putting Natasha down because she's just quieter.
And she doesn't even know if she's quiet. She doesn't
know anything about her.
She's fully projecting.
That is so true. And like her making it seem like being chaotic just means that she's not tamed.
Right, exactly. When it's like, no, you just need therapy.
You just need therapy.
And it brought me, the reason I started thinking about this was because I've recently been thinking a lot. Do you know the taxi cab theory?
Mm-mm.
Okay, so it's this big thing on TikTok, mostly amongst people who are like, no offense, kind of like pick me women who have like not seen a therapist and never think they're the problem.
Okay.
The taxi cab theory is the idea that guys don't marry for love, that they only marry when they're ready, regardless of who the girl is. And they basically just like turn their taxi cab light on. And it's basically saying the taxi cab theory is for like bitter people who like can't get over some situationship that happened 2 years ago and like watch their ex's stories from a burner account. Like it's like impossible for them to wrap their mind around the fact that like things ended for outside circumstances or frankly that maybe that person just didn't like you that much and then found somebody that they felt better suited for. And it's like instead they have to just like shit on every woman that like their ex dates after by being like, oh, that person isn't even special or right for them. Like they just happen to be ready. Like it's so...
It gives them the out to perceive themselves in a deeper way.
Yes, it gives them the right to perceive themselves as like there's nothing wrong with them and that their relationship only ended because the guy like wasn't ready for a relationship, when in reality that's like not even actually ever true. Like people are ready when they meet the right person and you just like he didn't like you that much. And that's a bummer. Like I have been that person. I have been the girl that a guy didn't like me that much and he strung me along for 2 years because maybe I was right on paper, but he just like really wasn't feeling it with me. And then the next girl he dated, he moved across the country for and moved in with immediately.
Yeah.
And I don't have the right to project the taxi cab theory on that and be like, well, he just like wasn't ready and then like he was with her and there's nothing special about her. No, you know what? There probably was something special about her. Something that did it in his mind. That little light went off and he went, oh my God, this is what I've been looking for that frankly, I never got with Rhea.
Yeah.
And I'm man enough to admit that sometimes that's the case.
Yeah. And maybe that person was just more suited for his personality type.
Yeah. I feel like if you subscribe to the taxi cab theory, you need to understand something, and this is going to be hard to hear. Just because your last situationship had to like force themselves to be with you and force themselves to see a future with you and then realized they didn't like you that much and then met someone that they didn't have to force that with and that it came easily doesn't mean that you have a right to shit on it and to discredit it and make it seem like, oh, well, men aren't, they don't marry for love. Like, yes, they do. They just didn't love you.
I think that that's the problem too with like main character syndrome on TikTok.
Oh,
where
the taxi cab theory is main character. It's the world revolves around me. Even my ex, who hasn't thought about me in 3 years, and his new girlfriend, who's never thought about me in her entire life, their relationship even revolves around me.
Exactly. And in reality, they're probably just like planning their cute little life and like going about their day.
Yes. And you're the freak who's watching their Instagram stories and texting your friends, taxi cab theory.
Yes.
You're a loser. You're a fucking loser.
Yes. Honestly, that's TikTok brain rot. That's
Yes.
TikTok brain rot.
Absolutely.
You are not the center of the universe. You can be the center of your own universe, whatever. But that's just not reality.
Yes.
We're all in the same fucking playing field. We're all trying to figure it out.
Exactly. And I get it. Like, your instinct when you kind of like don't
You want to protect yourself.
Yeah, when you don't get what you want out of a situation and then like they give it to somebody else immediately, that sucks.
And you're allowed to be crazy in main character core for like a month.
Right.
You're
but you
fine.
don't get to like invalidate their relationship after they've been like married for 2 years because like you for some weird reason can't get over this situationship.
I agree. And it also frankly you look pretty dumb and like a loser when you come for the girls so hard.
Yes, exactly.
But you know what? That comes with age too.
I agree. But here's the problem is like in Sex and the City, and this is what's so bizarre to me is I think I saw them as younger. They're all supposed to be in their mid-30s, and Samantha's in her 40s, and Carrie's still like subscribing to things like the taxi cab theory.
But that's why she's single. Because she just thinks that her shit don't stink and that everybody else is the problem.
Yes.
It's sometimes good to look within and be like, I'm the common denominator in all these situations. What could I fix?
Yeah. Or just that, like, I'm fine the way I am, but this person just didn't like me that much.
Yeah,
and it's not
they didn't
that
fit.
he was, like, scared of his big feelings for you or that he wasn't ready. That is never true. When the right person comes in, none of that shit matters. They just didn't like you that much. Do you know how many guys I dated that didn't like me that much?
Same.
I look back and I thought that they were just too busy. They were just touring too much. They just weren't ready. They were too young. No, they just literally didn't even like me that much.
I always think of Ryan had this ex-girlfriend before me, like right before me, and she lived in Los Angeles too. And she would always be like, move to LA. And he'd be like, I fucking hate LA. 9 months later, moves in with me. And I'm sure that like was hurtful. I'm sure that seeing that was like a punch to the stomach.
Absolutely.
But maybe it just made a little bit more sense with me, and like that's okay. I've also been the girl who's been on the other side of things.
We've been both, and that's why I think we can see clearly in the situation. I have been the girl, same with my ex. I wasn't allowed to see my ex on Sundays. He moved across the country for another girl.
That's a crazy rule.
It's a crazy rule. He didn't like me that much. He just didn't want to hang out with me. And then he moved across the country and moved in with another girl and is like posting them all the time and stuff. And you know what? It's like I'm not thinking in my head taxi cab theory. I'm thinking, oh, you know what? He just didn't like me that much, and I was kind of forcing the issue.
Why is it called taxi cab?
I think it's because it's like the idea that a guy like drives around in a taxi cab but his light is off, like the light that says they're taking people.
Got it.
And then one day out of nowhere they just decide to turn it on.
Wait.
And the first person who gets in their cab is the person they marry. But that's not true.
Speaking of New York real quick, we're going soon.
We're
Are you
going to
excited
New York.
Are you excited to hail a cab?
I am nervous.
How are you going to do it? Oh shit.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
2 fingers?
You need to what are you going to say?
Nothing.
I'm going to go
What are you going to do?
Hey, taxi, I'm over here.
You have a New York accent the whole time. We're just insufferable. Can I get the gabagoo? We're at like a Thai restaurant.
Wait, are you excited for New York?
I am. I have never been to New York as an adult, which is crazy.
It is crazy.
I know.
I hated New York the first time I went, loved it the second time I went. So I'm excited to see it with you.
It's also crazy. Everybody's been so shocked when I say this because we've been friends for so long and we're attached at the hip. It's our first trip together.
I know.
Which is crazy.
Isn't that fun?
I know. Like first time on a plane together. It's insane.
Wait, that's cute.
I know. I'm really excited.
We're going to vlog it.
We're going to vlog the shit out of it.
And you better watch. Listen, I understand why people don't fuck with us.
Why?
Like, I just get it. I get that we are insufferable at times.
Yeah.
I get that our friendship sometimes is a lot for certain people, or like intimidating, or brings out certain insecurities. I get that we're beautiful, gorgeous, smart, kind, incredible, creative.
You're so right, actually. Not
I
to be
get
up
it.
our own ass, but I kind of get it too. It's like, not only do we have all that individually, but then we're also like obsessed with each other.
Yeah, like I have sympathy for the haters, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, Gabby and I used to have this friend when we first moved to LA that ended up being a freak themselves.
I love when you say freak.
And I love how freak is the theme of this episode, is just freaks. And when that friendship sort of blew up, I think we were both really butthurt over it. And we were both very like,
We were young. We were insecure.
They have no reason to not like us. Why would they be annoyed by us? We're perfect, blah, blah, blah. And now it's like, it's funny because we can look back and be like, oh no, we were insufferable. Like, did they have a right to do some of the freak shit they did at the end of the relationship? No. But like, do I get why we were insufferable? Absolutely.
I get why we would make people crazy.
Yes, absolutely. We're obsessed with each other. When we're together, it's like nobody else is in the room.
It's kind of like that couple that you're like, how are they still going so strong?
Yes, absolutely. I know for a fact that our haters are watching our Instagram stories and can't believe we are still as obsessed as we were like 6 years ago. They've been praying on our downfall, and it's not going to happen.
Keep praying.
Sorry.
Because we're only going up, bitch. So suck it. The ages of 20 to 21 is the equivalent to being 29 to 30. Like, at 29, nothing is really happening. You're kind of just waiting to turn 30. You know what I mean? You're like grieving the last year of your latest 20s you could possibly be, but like nothing is happening during that time.
No.
It's how you feel at 20 is how you feel at 29.
No, not for me.
Why?
29 was the year that my entire life changed in every single possible way.
I mean, same, but also like kind of quiet. It feels a little bit peaceful. Did yours not feel peaceful?
It was literally by far the least peaceful year of my life.
You're right.
Are you telling yourself this because you're scared of your last year?
Come to think of it.
No, you're almost there. You're just a few months away.
Yeah.
And this wasn't a peaceful year for you at all.
Listen,
this was a year of radical change. What are you talking about?
Okay. You caught me. Lock me up in the lying cell. Okay? Trying to see it from different eyes.
This was a crazy year.
You're so right. I've never been more me.
Yeah. So much change.
We started a podcast. You're right.
So much change, dude. So much change.
Okay, well then I take it back. I take back everything I just said. Ages between...
I will say I think people think 29 is going to be like that. Because they think, oh, last year of my 20s, 30 will be big. Something about 29, I don't know if it's Saturn return
rocks the
shit.
boat.
29 rocks the fucking boat.
But you know what? When I'm 30, whatever happened when I was 29 is going to be none of my business.
Absolutely.
It's none of my business.
It only propelled you for 30 shit to go on.
Yeah.
But right in 29, it feels...
Am I allowed to say I'm in my late 20s if I'm at my latest 20?
Absolutely.
Oh, I'm in my late 20s.
Yeah. But I don't want to say I'm in my early 30s. I hate that.
Early is better than late.
I'm 31. Can I say I'm in my late 20s?
No, you cannot say you're in your late 20s.
I think
you could if you're 30, but you can't if you're 31.
No, I think up to 32 you can.
No, that's not the rule. I know the rule. No. It's hot to say like, oh, I'm in my early 30s. Wait, what's the piece of advice you have for me for entering my 30s?
Oh,
stay true to yourself.
Follow your heart. Let me think for a second. You know what? It's funny because the only advice I can think of is kind of advice that you gave to me. And it's that, like, don't think that things have to change. I think when I turned 30, I had this idea, the same way that I do sort of with marriage right now, because I'm getting married in a month, is that, like, things have to change. Like, I can't do this anymore. I can't feel young anymore. I can't feel sexy. I can't, like, try new things or, like, act like Gen Z. It's like embarrassing now that I'm 30. And the same with marriage. It's like I've been having a lot of like, I'm very excited to marry Callum, but I've been having a lot of like existential crises about it. And you had to kind of be like, just because you're married doesn't mean your life has to change. You're not some old married person now. Like, you and Kellen can still be free and act young and like explore together. And I think when I was turning 30, I had this idea that like things had to change or that I had to like hold myself in a certain way. And it's like you can still act the same way you did at like 28.
Listen, I think that people have a weird relationship with change.
Yes.
And as much as I welcome it, it is sometimes scary because it's something unknown. And anything unknown is always going to be scary. But I feel like sometimes people like, if I were to relate it to like a roller coaster, people are just like waiting for the drop and they're just going up, and they're waiting for the drop and they're like, fuck, things are about to be so scary.
Yep.
And then you go down and you're like, oh, I'm having the time of my life if I just let life happen.
And I wish, my one regret is that I wish I could go back to that period where I was waiting for the drop and just enjoyed that time more versus just being anxious about it.
Yeah. I don't know why I allow it more. Maybe I think I'm just like ready to shed that skin of my 20s, and I'm like, all right, let's run it.
Also, not to like be a cliche, but you are an old soul.
You really think?
Yeah, very much so. And so I think it's just like less scary to you because it's like I think you've always been very like sure of yourself and stuff.
Yeah,
and very confident.
that's
Even when
true.
you have like lower confident moments, like your overarching theme is always still very like sure of yourself, confident person.
Like everything's gonna work out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just think like I can be a little bit more of like a defeatist. Like I'm always waiting for the shoe to drop. I'm always waiting for something terrible to happen.
Yeah,
It's like
yeah.
Kellen says, one of my biggest red flags that like
But I think that like,
I'm a glass half empty kind of girl.
but think about the worst thing that's ever happened to you. Don't say it, but think about the worst thing that's happened to you. You're drinking an Erewhon smoothie with your best friend right now, recording a podcast.
You're right. And I'm happy.
And the world didn't burn
You're
after
right.
that thing.
I'm very bad at realizing that. Like last night, this is such a funny example of that. So last night I ordered Shake Shack for Postmates.
Mm-hmm.
And I ordered the food and then I went to go shower. And when I got out, I realized that I had like missed a text from the Postmates guy saying that they didn't have banana milkshakes.
Mm-hmm.
But I missed the text. So in my head, I'm already preparing myself. I know that I'm like not getting a banana milkshake. I don't know what he's chosen for me because I didn't see the text. So I didn't have time to like make a second decision. And so he drops off the food, whatever. And obviously this is not his fault at all. Not like, I'm still tipping him and stuff. But I get the milkshake and it's vanilla. And I was on the phone with Kevin and I was like, oh my God, out of all the smoothies he could have chosen, like, this motherfucker chose vanilla. And Kevin goes, but like a vanilla milkshake with a burger is actually really nice. And I was like, yeah, but it's like I wouldn't have chosen it. And he's like, yeah, but look at it that way. Like in what other world would you have enjoyed a vanilla milkshake with a burger? Like you would have never chosen that. And like now you get to have it and realize how good it is. And I was like, damn, that was like a really positive way to look at that situation. And like the situation obviously wasn't a big deal.
Yeah.
But I was like, I should be thinking about life that way more often.
Yeah, and it's something it doesn't come naturally. It doesn't come naturally to me.
I am a glass half empty girl. It's one of my worst qualities.
I'm a glass half full and I still struggle with like sometimes looking at the bright side of things.
Yeah.
But like you have to.
Yeah, for sure.
To literally get through life, you have to.
I've been better at it mostly because sometimes Kellen can be a little bit of a glass half empty guy too. And so you always want to be like, when your partner's down, you always want to like almost go into like court jester mode. So I've been better at it when he's down of like sort of like forcing myself to be like, no, look at this, which has been helpful. And I think it's been helpful for him too to have to be that way for me. But
yeah.
My natural inclination is to be very glass half empty.
Yeah. Ryan always knows when something's really wrong when I'm glass half empty.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
If my world is burning, it's for a reason.
Yes, completely. I think this was a great episode.
I love these shoot the shit episodes.
I just looked and we've gone over an hour.
It's just fun.
I know.
It feels like we're on FaceTime with everybody.
I agree. There's nothing that heals me that makes me happier more in life than a yapathon with you.
I completely agree. If you guys like these kinds of episodes where we're just shooting the shit and it's just no plot,
all yap,
all vibes, let us know, because I do, out of every episode that we do, I mean, I love guests and I love like topics and stuff, but like this feels like us.
I agree. We would have had all of these conversations whether or not the camera was on.
Yeah, we would have just had this on FaceTime.
Yeah, absolutely.
Without the code names.
Exactly. If you guys enjoyed it, please leave it a good review. It really, really, really helps us out. Leave a comment and a like if you're watching it on YouTube.
We're almost at 100 reviews.
I know.
Isn't that crazy?
And
we were just saying 50.
And we're almost at 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. Which is pretty awesome.
And we just hit 2K on TikTok.
We definitely subscribe to the YouTube channel because we're going to be vlogging soon. We're going to be vlogging our New York trip and lots of other fun stuff. And thanks for your continued listening and support. We love you. We'll talk to you later.
Mwah.
Bye.